not think this would be a two-parter. Let's talk about Dreaming Sarah. I brought it up. Let's talk about Dreaming Sarah and go from there. Dreaming Sarah is a neat game. They actually did a sequel to this game I'm gonna have to check out at some point. But Dreaming Sarah, so you play as this female protagonist that's in a dream, and it's kind of a little bit up to interpretations. I think there's like 2 endings of this game. It's very, you know what? It's very similar to Yume Nikki, where you're just exploring the dreams. There's branching paths. It's very inspired by Yume Nikki now that you think about it. You pick up objects, and the objects can lead you down other paths and do more different interactions. You could probably interpret the dream world and what they mean to the character. It's very Yume Nikki-like. It's just a little bit more 3D in nature. It definitely feels more like a Metroidvania than Yume Nikki feels like. Yume Nikki at least I haven't played Yume Nikki for clarification, but from what I've all seen and watched about Yume Nikki, that it's an exploration game. Whereas Dreaming Sarah definitely feels more of a Metroidvania, where you're gathering things to unlock paths kind of situation. You do that in Yume Nikki too. But Yume Nikki has that more, oh, let me interact this item with this item and see what happens. Whereas Dreaming Sarah is like, oh, I need this item to progress in this certain part of the game kind of situation. The Dreaming Sarah is pretty neat. It's a pretty neat game. It's better than Ice Climber. that should be the benchmark from now on. It's better than Ice Climber. It's better than Least of the First, talking about like a Yume Nikki similar game. It's better than the Dead Sea games. It's better than Crystal Defenders. It's better than Bio-Erosion. It's better than Bat 64. It doesn't... Dreaming Sarah doesn't... I don't recall it quite scratching the liminal itch that I have when it comes to games that you can probably compare to, similar to it. Like, I don't think I ever really... I did this for the Platinum Trophy Challenge, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. That sounds right. That sounds right. But I'm glad I found this game through that. This was another instances where I kind of looked up this game specifically for that challenge. But I'm glad I did. I enjoy my time with this, and I do very much want to check out the sequel to this game. But yeah, like, it did not really give me a liminal feel like I kind of wished it did. But admittedly, I'm more into the liminal spaces, liminal feeling kind of thing now than I was then. Or at the very least, I'm more heavily into it. I might have been into liminal spaces at that point too, but just not as heavily as I am now. I think it's better than Freddy Spaghetti. Freddy Spaghetti is silly. But if we're talking about vibes, I would definitely be more drawn to Dreaming Sarah than Freddy Spaghetti. Like, I like a good silly game. That's why I even, play Freddy Spaghetti in the first place. Good song from this game, by the way, Phantom Brave. Yeah. Dreaming Sarah's better than Freddy Spaghetti. I think it's better than Woodle. Little hesitant on that one, but I think it's better than Woodle. I know I was speaking very positively about Death's Hangover, but I think it might be better than Death's Hangover. It's a very real possibility. Once I go back and replay Death's Hangover again, it might go up. Does the Disgaea of Disgaea RPG make it just enough that it's above Dreaming Sarah? I've been doing a lot of talking. This is actually, I think, words per hour. I've been doing the most talking in the stream at any point in time. I hope I don't lose my voice tomorrow. it could happen. It could really happen. It's not better than Limbo. I don't know. Actually. Hold on a moment. Hold on to that. Hold on to that thought. Hold on. It's not better than Metal Slug 4. It's not better than Brave Exvius. It's not better than the RPG Maker horror games. It's not better than 8 Color Star Guardians. Plus. Limbo's neat. We're back in Limbo again. God dang it. Limbo's neat. I think I might put it below Limbo because now thinking about it, like, I think Limbo just edges out over Dreaming Sarah because of its straightforwardness. I think the straightforwardness of Limbo and the puzzle solving of Limbo is a little bit more involved than Dreaming Sarah. Like, the world of Dreaming Sarah might be more interesting. That's a possibility, yes. But there's definitely more puzzle solving going on in Limbo that makes you... Like, you're thinking of Dreaming Sarah, but it's definitely more of a case where find X to do X. Where in Limbo, you're, like, actually thinking out the puzzles and that. Me thinks, anyway. So it's below Limbo. It's below Limbo. I would take it over Manhattan Project. I think that's where I would be comfortable with it right now. I can see myself arguing it above DMC. But I think I'm alright with it right now. Am I doing another one? How am I feeling? We're at 89 games. Could I reasonably get to 100? Is that something I can finally do? Let's do one more and then go from there. I'm picking a random game, though. Neon Junction. So, this is a very interesting game. So, when doing that Platinum Trophy Challenge, looking up into video games, I noticed Neon Junction. It's a first-person puzzle game. It's really neat. And you can beat this game very quickly if you know the solutions to it. I deliberately went into this not knowing the solutions. I wanted to play it blind. And only looked up anything that I legitimately got stuck on, which I think happened twice in this game, if I'm not misremembering. The controls for this game I remember just being really bizarre. Like, it felt like the movement in this game did not seem right. It seemed like it was halfway between tank controls and not. That's the best way I can recall it. I adjusted to it and over time and was able to like really ease my way into it. But when you first play this game, at least I played the PS4, PS4 version. Man, the movement was just not right. But you adjust it after a while, and it became second nature, really. Once you understand the game's rule of movement, I was able to get it. But I could see somebody trying it out and just never vibing with it. I was able to adjust to it because I like the aesthetic of it. So I was willing to put up with it, and just over time, I just got comfortable with it. But yeah, this is a first-person puzzle game. I love the aesthetic of this game. The aesthetic of this game is really neat. I don't recall the soundtrack of this game, though. I don't know if it's just like, oh yeah, this matches the vibe of the game, but it's just one of those things that it's just like background noise that it fits the game, but it's not something that's memorable, if that makes any sense. Kind of like movie scores. A lot of movie scores nowadays. Like, it fits the scene, but it's not memorable. It's not like the FF7 soundtrack. It's not like this track either, because, oh my god, this track in FF6 rules. So, Neon Junction. It's not a bad game. You kind of have to adjust your brain to the movement. But once you get it, it's a really enjoyable first-person puzzle game. I think I beat this under 3 hours. Actually, I can look it up right now. Because I know I got the Platinum Trophy in the same playthrough. Oh, it took me 5 hours. Okay. So, but if you know the solution... Like, let me... I'm curious. Yeah, like this person beat it in 27 minutes because they probably looked up the whole solution, or there might be some shenanigans with it. But I played it legit. I played it without looking again. I played it without looking up a guide or any answers. I legitimately tried to figure it out and only looked up a thing where I was just stumped. Which, if I recall correctly, was just 2 times game, and I forget how many levels it was. It's pretty beefy for what it is, if I recall correctly. I don't recall there being an ending. I think it just kind of just ended. I think you just go through the levels and it just ends. I don't recall an ending at all. It's better than My Name is Mayo. It's definitely a one and done kind of game. It's one of those games where it's fun, it's enjoyable, but it's like, oh, not quite Portal. Portal, you'll probably want to play a couple times, but it's similar games to Portal. You can get that vibe. It's like a one and done kind of game. I would rather play Dead Sea over this. I would rather play Antidine over this. So of course it comes back to Ice Climbers. I think I would rather play Ice Climbers, if I gotta be real. Because that movement is very awkward. I specifically do remember that movement taking a while to get used to vibe with it. And I would probably... The aesthetic is really cool, though. It's a really cool aesthetic. I'm sure there's other games that's done it better. It is a really cool aesthetic. This sounds weird. This one sounds weird. Yeah, I would probably rather play Ice Climbers than Neon Junction. I guess I'm gonna go for Spinal Fantasy. This just is like this actually is kind of a similar thing to Lisa the Vengeful. It's just like a short little one-off joke kind of thing. Like based on Final Fantasy. It's silly. You'll from time to time in the Sprite Buddy there, you'll see Cloud and Tifa specifically from Spinal Fantasy pop up because I really like those sprites. They're really funny. So if anybody ever gets curious and they watch these, if they wonder where those Cloud and Tifa sprites come from, you'll probably know when you see them. They come from this game. They come from Spinal Fantasy. Yeah, I think this is better executed than Lisa the Vengeful. And because of the subject matter, I think it's better than Parky Cop Simulator. I think it's definitely better than Diet Dr. Pepper Killer. I think it's better than Pit Fighter. Again, the fact that it has to do with Final Fantasy kind of does amplify it a little bit for me. Even though somebody can really look at it just like Lisa the Vengeful and be like, it's a cool idea, I wish there was more to it. And I do wish there was more to it. A little bit more. I think the perfect length for a funny, silly, meme-ish RPG Maker game is an hour. Because you can do a lot in an hour. And there's a really good example of that on this list that I don't know if we may or may not get in this session. You could do a lot in an hour in RPG Maker. So, when it comes to Spinal Fantasy, I think, or any kind of meme RPG Maker games, an hour is perfectly good length when it comes to meme-ish RPG Maker games. I think that's a perfect estimate value for those kind of games. You can do a lot with that in it. Again, you got your joke, you're out. It's better than Pit Fighter. I would put it above Pit Fighter on Game Boy. I would probably put it above... No, I think I would put it below Crisis of the Middle Ages. I did get some funny reactions out of Crisis of the Middle Ages. Whereas Final Fantasy is a neat little one-off joke that... If it had more substance to it, I think it would be better than Crisis, but where it's at, I think this is pretty high for what kind of game's Final Fantasy. Let's do Gemini's other RPG game. So this was also made for the RPG Maker XP. Super Peggle RPG. This is a really neat, little funny, haha RPG Maker game. This one I also would have mind being a little bit long. So, Peggle, I know of the game. I never played the series of games. So I really don't get the jokes. I really like some of the enemies you fight in this game. I really like some of the animations in this game that are really funny. Like, this is a situation where I think this is better than the Dr. Pepper Killer games. Because the jokes this game tells landed more with me, admittedly. It's not better than Towards the Pantheon. As I keep saying, a forgettable game to me, even though it has every right to not be bad on this list. It's not a bad game. It's not. It's not a bad game. It's better than Dr. Pepper Killer, the Phantom Menace. I think the animation, the jokes, and some of the enemies puts it above Sack's Cute Game, but below Towards the Pantheon. It's 75. I'm pretty sure that's the last Gemini game on this list. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to add whenever the games comes up, I'll have to add them on to the pictures games that we added. So we had 142. We added 3 more from the Game Jam, the $3 Game Jam that I should have added it before, admittedly, because they are complete. Some of those games were complete games. So that boosts us up to 145. We're at 92 right now. Of course, we're going to be going through and finalizing the list touched up once everything settled. We have 53 more games. I think what I'm going to do, we're going to do 3 more games. We're going to get it up to 95. Then I think we're going to call it and pick this back up Wednesday. I did not mean to, or did not think that this would be this long of a stream. But it is what it is. I wanted to be more methodical. I could probably have done this better, admittedly. But, you know, I'm kind of doing this, and, you know, this is just me. I'm just doing it my way. No highway. This is my thought process. I struggle with this. I do. Even when this was just RPGs, I always struggle with it. I always can't reset it and whatnot. And this is... in some way, this is really good that we are streaming this, because I feel like it's more incentive to actually get this list put together and finalized and turn this into a yearly tradition. Because from here on out, I do not see myself ever having another 140-some games to rank. It's going to be a lot lower year to year. The only reason why it's this much is just because this is almost 10 years worth of game. And more could have been put on here if I was really wanting to. But I just felt more comfortable with these games. So let's do 3 more, and we'll call it. I think that's what we're gonna do. and we'll pick it back up Wednesday morning. And try to make that the last session. Which, at the very least, you know, it should be shorter than 12 hours. But yeah, let's do 3 more games, making an even 50 that we have left. Now, the question is, what 3 games? There he is. Favorite minor. This was just a random one-off game. T was present during the streaming of this game. Because we were going through games to stream. And this showed up, and I made the comment. It's like, oh, you can't get this game on Steam anymore. And I think T was like, oh, you should stream it. So I think that's how that worked. It's fine for what it is. It very much feels like a mobile game that was ported to Steam at some point. It's janky. It's got weirdness to it, but I can definitely see this being from that. It feels very much coded like those bootleg 2D knockoff bootleg games you would see Vinny had played before on his streams. The Android bootleg games. This feels very much in line with that, but it's not a bootleg, but I wouldn't be surprised if this uses a skeleton or the code of one of those kind of games. I mean, admittedly, I don't even know if this was a game. It just feels very much like an Android game, an ISO game, ported over to Steam, but it could have been just a random Flash game on a website, and it was thrown on Steam. Could have been stolen. Somebody could have got the game, uploaded to Steam, lawsuit, and it was taken off. I don't know. I just played the game. I did look into it. It's a mystery. It's fine. It's jank. There's situations where, oh, you would die, and your corpse, like, you can still move your corpse around as if you're walking around before the level. You restart the level. That's pretty funny. It's very short. It has no ending. It's just like, you just, you know, levels 1 through 12. Just select them, and that's it. I mean, you gotta unlock them. But, you know, it's like 1 through 12. You can probably know exactly what kind of game I'm talking about just by the way I'm describing it. It's better than Quest Escape Room. It's better than 21 Plus. Yes, it's better than one. It's better than Lonely in the Winter. As far as I know, this does not have AI generations. But if the checkpoint system wasn't in space, intervention. I'm tired. Or I don't know. I don't know what I am. It's better than Pew Pew Demon. I think I would rather play Lisa the Fifth. Because the ideas of what Lisa the Fitful and Parky Cop Simulator could be is more appealing than what we actually got with Favorite Mine. There might be an argument to be had with Lisa the Fitful being below Favorite Miner. But it's not better than Diet Dr. Pepper Killer. Yeah, we got the My Name is Mayo games. Let's do another one of their games. This is the last one. I have played these games. So they released a collection on PlayStation, a physical collection. I think it was Limited Run Games, but I got mine off of eBay or Amazon. For fairly cheap, honestly. I think it was like only $20. They did a volume 2, but that was a little bit more pricier. And that one has My Name is Mayo 3. But Mr. Massagy is just a little quirky little visual novel game. It's really, you see it a lot. You see these LOL visual novel game type things. And you really have to go out of your way to make those kind of games sit. Because those games really heavily rely on the dialogue. And I mean, Mr. Massagy at least has you know, it has some uniqueness to it compared to other visual novel games. You know, the character art, the gags in it. There's a little bit more involved than a typical bad, LOL funny visual novel game. It's fine. It's okay. I wasn't offended playing the game. It had some jokes. It had some chuckles. I wasn't offended by it. I would probably rather play My Name is Mayo. Which, My Name is Mayo makes a cameo in this game, so that's pretty good. So, canonically, I think the Mayo from My Name is Mayo is female. I think. Or, you know, maybe they're non-binary. I'm not here to judge if the May is my non-binary. But it's this... Okay, is Mr. Massagy better or worse than My Name is Mayo? I think, and by default, it being a visual novel type game that has actual characters, actual dialogue, I think it's better than My Name is Mayo. Same for My Name is Mayo 2. But the aesthetic of Neon Junction, I would rather play Neon Junction over Mr. Massagy. I think that makes sense in my head. Alright, so we're gonna do one more game and we're gonna call it. I think I feel comfortable calling it. So now we're making it even 50 that we have to come back to. Let's do a big game. We haven't done a big game in a while. Yeah, we might be here for a little bit with this one. We'll talk about it. We'll do it. We'll win this session on this one. Final Fantasy Mystic Quest is very significant to me. I love this game. This was my first, not only Final Fantasy game, but my first RPG. This was my introduction to JRPGs. And what's even funnier is I went from this to Final Fantasy VII. And I'm like, man, what a blow up. As you get older, some things like I do clearly remember renting Super Mario RPG back in the day. So in terms of RPGs, I did play some in between this and 7. But in terms of Final Fantasies, no, I went straight from Mystic Quest to Final Fantasy 7. But there was definitely a few Super Nintendo RPGs in between there. Funny enough, no Final Fantasies. I never thought to look for another Final Fantasy game back then. I guess because the Blockbuster at that point didn't have them. I actually own a copy of Mystic Quest. I have 2 copies of it. I'm looking over my collection. The original version that I have of that game. And then I have Shadows to Crazy Koopa, CK. He sold me his box copy of Mystic Quest. I have that thing proudly displayed over here next to my Japanese big box of Phantom Brave. a little hint how you might think I feel about Phantom Brave. Over there. Mystic Quest is very significant for me for a lot of reasons. I acknowledge the low points of Mystic Quest. The most low point I have with Mystic Quest is when I did that Let's Play series on it and tried to get to max level. And that was a bit of a grind. But I really enjoy Mystic Quest. I enjoyed the quirkiness of it. Fantastic soundtrack. To this day, I would still love to do a reimagining of this game, whether it be an RPG Maker or actually trying to sit down and learn Godot. However you pronounce it. I think that would be a very fun project to try to reimagine this game in a different light. And somebody had done that in an RPG Maker game, but mine would be better. That's mean of me. So I really think highly of Mystic Quest. But I'm not totally nostalgic blind to it. Like, games have come since Mystic Quest that I look at and think are significantly better than Mystic Quest. But nostalgia does speak a lot for Mystic Quest. Every once in a while, I do boot it up and play through it. I might not do a full playthrough of it, but I do boot it up, get some enjoyment out of it, have a fun time. In fact, the last time I did a full playthrough of this game was that Let's Play. So how many years ago that was? That was actually legitimately the last time I played Mystic Quest. Outside of trying to randomize her, seeing how that worked, which was pretty funny. And no, I did a Corruptions too. I did a Corruptions of this game. That was pretty funny as well. Because it randomly teleported me to a dungeon I was supposed to be in. But no, like, despite my nostalgic goggles for this game, games have come out since this game that are, without hesitation, I think is better. But this game is a very significant game in my life that put me on the path of who I am now. For better or for worse. This was the start of Final Fantasy fanboy me. RPG me. Yeah. I did not really play as much Super Nintendo games as one might think, actually. Like, it was just a handful. Like, it wasn't until the PlayStation where I really got down into the video game business, one could say. But because before that, I could probably count the number of Super Nintendo games on probably just two hands that I had any interaction with whatsoever. Final Fantasy Mystic Quest being one. Talk about rentals, Super Mario RPG. We mentioned that from time to time. Super Mario All-Stars. Yoshi's Island. Scooby-Doo. Mortal Kombat. Those was also... Super Nintendo was where I got my first experience with fighting games. And it was Mortal Kombat 2, specifically. I don't remember playing 1. I remember playing 2. But yeah, like... just not as many video games as one might think with me. It wasn't until PlayStation where I really got really heavily into video games. Like, I was actually going outside and playing with the Super Nintendo, believe it or not. It wasn't just video game. Mystic Quest was the start of that addiction, though. Out of all the Super Nintendo games I did have at that point in my life, it was Mystic Quest. Mystic Quest and Yoshi's Island. Oh, Donkey Kong Country 2 and 1 and 2 was there, too. Yeah. Those two was definitely there as well. Not 3. I didn't play 3 till much later, and even then I didn't play that much of it. No, Donkey Kong Countries 1 and 2 was definitely there. I put a lot of time into 2. I do remember that. I even beat 2. I do remember beating 2. Never really 100% in 2. Definitely not back then, for Just a little history about me, a little dish fact. Haven't said that in a while. Was not really as big of a gamer during the Super Nintendo era when I was brand new. But yeah, Mystic Quest of the Final Fantasy variety. Really, really love this game. I acknowledge the faults of this game. I don't care. I don't care. I love this game. It's really neat. It's better than Metal Slug X. It's better than Metal Slug X. This might not be as high up as I'm thinking it is, actually. Looking at this list. At what we got right now. It was a lot higher when it was just RPGs, but now that we got different games mixed in here, it's probably not going to be as high as I'm originally thinking it is. I like Rhapsody. Yeah, I think I mentioned this way back in the stream at some point. Pointless Rhapsody and Mystic Quest was kind of flopping around there between spots when it was just specifically RPG. Specifically Rhapsody. Mystic Quest and Rhapsody would trade places a lot on a ranking list. Pointless kind of stayed consistent above the two of them. Yeah, I would put Mystic Quest above LA Noir. I would put Mystic Quest above The Sky is 6. Would I put it above Rhapsody? I would put it above Rhapsody. Initial thoughts, I would put it above Rhapsody. There's a lot more interesting things about Rhapsody, sure. Dungeons are very much better English in Mystic Quest. They're more interesting than Rhapsody's. A majority of Rhapsody's dungeons. I think the music's better in Mystic Quest than Rhapsody. I love the characters in Mystic Quest. I love Cornet. I think Cornet's a cute country bumpkin character. He's very, 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 very cute. Very cool character. I like a lot of the puppet characters. I think they're cool in Rhapsody. I like Benjamin a lot more. I think, yeah. Benjamin or Cornet? Who is the better character? It probably. And richer in story? Definitely Cornet. It is not better than Desert's Child. I can say that for certain. It's not better than Astra's Playroom. Really, it comes down to, like I mentioned earlier, Rhapsody, Point, and Pointless Mystic Quest. Those 3 games. Because it's definitely, I definitely put it above the Sky 6. I think Pointless edges this out. There's a more to like about Mystic Quest, one could say, for sure. But yeah, Pointless, I think, edges this out by a few things. I think it is. I think at the end of the day, Mystic Quest is better than Rhapsody. I might even, but I will acknowledge that if I am presented with Mystic Quest in one corner, Rhapsody in the other corner, I might actually gear towards Mystic or Rhapsody. That's a real possibility. But I can't. This is a situation where I cannot ignore the impact this game had on me. I think that's something that I just cannot overlook in this instance of it. Like I think it's too significant enough. And what edge I think that one factor is really what edges it out above Rhapsody. If it wasn't for that, I think it would be right below Rap. I think I would still like it more than Disguise 6, absolutely. But if it wasn't for that one factor, it would be below Rhapsody. But because of the impact it had on my life and what it would lead me down, it's above Rhapsody. What a sober song to end this on. With that, we have ranked 95 out of 145 video games. If you watch this thing in full, I apologize. I really do. I had no idea that, one, this would be going for so long, and that, two, we wouldn't even be finished. That's insane. Maybe I'll try to stream tomorrow. Maybe I'll immediately come back to this after a couple hours. Maybe you know what? I might lay down for a little bit of a nap, wake up and be like, all right, I'm ready to go. Round 2. That's a very real possibility, but I wouldn't count on that. So we have 50 more video games. Let me go ahead and take this. So we have 50 more video games here to the rank. That doesn't even look like 50. Crazy part. But it is. That's 50 video games. That is 50 video games right there. And this is not even settled in yet. Like, there might be some shifting around. You know what? Before we end it, let's take a quick pick. Tweak. Oh my god, I cannot talk! Let's take a quick peek through this and see how I feel about some of these placements. See if we can adjust. Bottom up. You know what? I'll pull a Jeff. I'll pull a Jeff and do what he does, or something similar to what he does. Number 95 is Quest Escape Room. Number 94, 21 Plus. Number 93, 1v1 Battle Royale for the Throne. Number 92, Lonely in the Winter. Number 91, Space Intervention. I am not doing that. No, that's too much. That's too much. When it's all said and done, I'll go through each game and read the specific scene. But yeah, I'm gonna glance through here. I'm gonna see if any of these spots can be switched around a little bit. Honestly, a lot of the bottom half of this list is pretty sad, I feel like. It's not until, like, we get probably, like, the top 30, top 40, where things start to, like, get a little dicey with some stuff here. I keep eyeballing Crash 1. It was right above Jak and Daxter at one point. It might go back up there. Super Mario RPG is, like, really one of the bigger ones here that might actually have to be some adjusting here. Upon quick glance, though, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm pretty all right with a lot of these positionings. But it's nearly 13 hours in. And after a nap, I could be like, what was I thinking? No, we gotta change some of this around. I'm gonna try to be really definitive about this list. I don't want to just keep looking at it and changing it every single time. I want to be 100% confident in these, with maybe the exception of, like, I replay a game and have a different insight into it. There's nothing wrong with, like, coming back to this list in a year's time and feeling a little bit differently about some games because it's just my mindset at that point in time. But for the most part, I want this list to be nice and settled in, which hopefully we'll do that, I guess technically tomorrow, yeah, because today is Tuesday on my end. Yeah. So the first 95 games have been ranked. We still got 50 more. And, I might try to go lay down for a nap and come immediately right back here. That might be a real possibility. I would not be opposed to that. That might be what I might do. So I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream here. God bless your soul if you watch till this end, because you're just listening to a southern old man just talking nonsense. If there's one takeaway you guys can take, everybody watching this takes away from, you don't need to do this. You don't need to rank. It can be fun. Don't get me wrong. There's an appeal to watching and thinking out a list of favorite video games, but you really don't need to do these kind of things. You can just say, "Oh, this is one of my favorite video games of all time," and be perfectly all right. But I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say there's no fun to be had here. It is. It is fun. It really makes you think. It really puts your thinking cap on. And I'm actually probably gonna, Mom gonna go lay down. I probably am gonna actually. I mentioned hours ago at this point about a specific top 100 list. I'm probably gonna watch a little bit of that guy's video. I can't recall his name off the top of my head. I apologize. Yeah, we're gonna leave it off here. We'll come back at latest Wednesday morning when I get off work. That's the latest I can think of. But I want to thank everybody who came out, checked the stream even for a little bit. I want to thank everybody on the YouTube side of things who checks out the replays later down the road. Thank you very much. The VOD for this video probably won't be up for a little bit. It might take a little bit of time, just because I do want to timestamp things. But yeah, thanks again, everybody. We'll be back with hopefully the rest of this in a shorter stream. But until then, take it easy, brush your teeth, fight that gingivitis, and just enjoy yourselves. Laters.